In this episode of Zone RV's Big Lap Around Australia, we're finally making our way to the northernmost tip of the country and explore what the top end has to offer. Our journey will take us through the stunning landscapes and coastlines of Weipa, tackle one of Australia's most iconic forward drive tracks, and we'll stop in one of my favourite waterfalls of the Cape York Peninsula. Along the way, we'll explore some amazing campsites and push our vans to their limits on some seriously challenging terrain. We kick off our journey in Weipa on Cape York's stunning west coast. After a good week exploring Weipa's highlights, we headed out for our final boat trip, eager to check out the region's famous Red Cliffs, an iconic site just a 40-minute boat ride away. The striking contrast between the Red Cliffs and the deep blue water creates a truly stunning view. As we approached the cliffs, we were greeted by a pod of dolphins, a refreshing change from the usual crocs and sharks in this area. We decided to push a bit further north to explore another set of red cliffs. Well, here we are outside of Weipa at the Red Cliffs. I'm here with my mate Wiley, so thanks heaps for bringing us out today, mate.
No, not a problem. Welcome to Weipa, welcome to the Red Cliffs.
Yeah, really appreciate it. Love your boat and the setup. I've had a good chat on the way here. Now, the guys went out. Russell's the king of the water at the moment, so he caught, I think it was a 90 centimetre Jew. He's a little bit off camera here. Elisa caught a little couple of fish, and so did Pete. So a bit of redemption today. I'm not a fisherman, so I won't get into that, but I want to see those guys catch something. But mate, love your area. Like, I've come up here before, but I've never really explored as much as we have this time. Bit of your history. You've been here for what, about 4 years?
Yeah, so we've been in Weipa for about 4 years together with my wife and my two girls. Yeah, we've started a small fishing charter at the moment and just slowly working our way through the area. And this is probably the best part about it. We get to show everyone around pretty much what our backyard looks like.
Absolutely, and I follow you on your channel, so I've watched you on that before, and it's just really good if you come up to Weipa Caravan Park or you want to look online. I'll give you a bit of a plug. So like you guys have got your stuff with Rough Edges Adventures.
Yeah, so we run Rough Edges Adventures on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, all that side of the things. And then, yeah, aside from that, we also run the small fishing charter as well. So
what can people expect to catch up here?
Yeah, so we specialise in everything from barra to blue water. So out the front you can chase tuskies, fingermark, cobia, Spanish mackerel, coral trout. But then we can get back up in the estuaries and target a few barramundi, fingermark, cod, lots of mangrove jack.
Yeah.
A lot of queenfish frequent the area as well. So
sports fishing.
It's such a diverse fishery from the estuary to the reef that we get pretty much the best of both worlds over here on the west coast.
Yeah, and so best times of year. Obviously we're here at the moment in the end of August. What would sort of be the pick of the time for people to come?
Obviously it's very weather dependent. Roads get cut off through the wet season, but general season opens around May, and yeah, your better fishing is probably from May till end of June, and then again from September through till October, November, before the heat and the build up starts to kick in again.
Mate, thanks for bringing us out here. Love what you do, love your gear, mate, and look after yourself, eh?
Not a problem, mate. Thank you. I think yeah, we might go get into a few fish and see what we can put on the board.
Too easy. We set up the rods and tried our luck one last time. After a few bites and some small catches, the sharks started closing in and swiping our bait and fish. Just as we were about to move on, Elisa hooked something big. She pulled in a stunning tusky, just the right size for dinner. After giving the rods a try, we headed back to the Hay River to look for some more big crocs. It didn't take long to spot some large males on the riverbanks. We were amazed at how quickly these big crocs reacted to our boats and drone. Most of them vanished as we got closer. On our way home, we spotted one more croc that's been tracked by researchers. At about 4.5 metres, it's definitely the biggest one we've seen so far. Back at camp, we filleted our fish, enjoyed one last sunset and the final beach cook up in Weipa. Then it was time to pack up and continue our journey to the northern tip of Australia. We had a great stay at the Weipa Caravan Park, and I definitely recommend visiting this part of the Cape to everyone. The west coast of Cape York offers a unique experience compared to the east, and if you're into fishing, it's a must-do on your caravanning bucket list. As we continued our trip, our next destination was the famous Bramwell station, Australia's most northerly cattle station. We took the Weipa shortcut to rejoin the PDR, a time-saving route that also challenged us with some rough corrugations and potholes. Well, we just pulled up here at the Moreton Telegraph station and we're just going to have a look. She's been dusty, a couple of hours drive from Weipa, so as you can see, all the dust stays outside, which is nice. That's what you want when you travel. Everything's still there, fridge is all good. I've just been in and had a bit of a look. Yeah, this is a real test on everything. So I've been running the unleashed suspension. I've got it set down the lowest setting. I've had my wheels down at about 28 to 30 psi, so I've just been trying to take it pretty good for it, and everything's run really well. It's been good fun. I think the biggest thing I've just reminded myself all the time is to make sure when I hook back my stone stomper, so that's a tip for anyone. I forgot to do one of the outside ones the first time and wore it out. I had to put a new end on it, so thanks to Terry and the team for doing that for me. But yeah, other than that, just check everything. It's always good. We've checked all our bolts and everything, but we're heading up now to Bramwell, so we're going to pull up at Bramwell station for a few days, and you'll see us head down the tele track and do a few tracks as well. After a few hours on the road, we arrived at Bramwell station, where we'd stay for the next few days. It was time to clean off the dust, check for any damage from the rough roads, and explore one of the Cape's iconic landmarks. Alright, so today we're at one of the, I think, best days of the trip. We're going to be, other than touching the tip, I think this is one of the next best things you're going to do in your Cape trip. So that's basically heading to the start. We're here at Bramwell station and we're heading to the tele track. So it doesn't get any better than that. If you're an iconic four-wheel drive enthusiast, or if you want to push yourself and test your limits, tele track isn't the most insane, but I think it's just such an iconic part of this trip that you run along. I've done it before, had a ball. Just great camping spots, get you off the PDR for a while. Actually, in a lot of ways, less corrugations and stuff because it's off that main thoroughfare, but incredible part of the country. And we just had a cracking night at Bramwell. We're going to stay here again tonight and have a feed. There's live music and yeah, really good night. So teams coming together now, everyone can pack up and get rolling pretty quick if we have to, but we've got a really good setup now with the 4 vans. Everybody knows their little jobs and what to do, so yeah, can't wait to get out there today, give the cruiser a bit of test. We'll test out the Just Autos conversion with the motor, test out the J-Max suspension. I've just got to say, having this electronic adjustment on this car is phenomenal. This would be the best car I've ever driven with suspension. I can't believe how good this thing has been. We've driven some pretty horrific roads yesterday that were, for the first time I've ever had things move around quite significantly in my van. That doesn't happen that often, so it says to me, I had my tyres in my van back at about 28 to 30 psi, softest setting on unleashed, and I would say like didn't break anything, didn't have too many dramas, but definitely for the first time saw some things move around. So we'll pack a little different, but the car, nothing, unbelievable, just handles the bumps. I've got full adjustability. The guys at J-Max, incredible. I don't know, I just can't rate that enough. The other thing too, I've been using the Just Auto setup, and again, I'm not paid by any of these guys, but I love their products. I've paid for these products ourselves at Zone. I've been running tow mode. I'm averaging about 21. I think at the moment, even I'll get Pete to have a look on my screen here so you know I'm not lying to you, but it's 20.6 average. When I'm doing the calculations with the app as well, we're running about 22 to 23. So that's really good, towing a 21-foot van at that 3.5 ton. incredible. So no, can't wait to get out there and we'll see what we find on the track. And we've already passed a couple of rolled cars, we've passed a couple of vans that people have busted up, and we'll just go and enjoy the day. But hope everyone's safe. But yeah, just want to have a bit of fun. On our way to the tele track, we filled up at Bramwell Junction. Righto, so we're here at Palm Creek, and as you can see, that's pretty steep. Smart marks there from people actually being there the last couple of days and gone through it, so it is possible, but definitely I wouldn't suggest doing it if you're a tourer. We're obviously more of a touring company, touring couple, so we'll just go and do the bypass. We'll actually go through Palm Creek. The exit's pretty good, and we'll meet you down a bit further across the Delhunty and a few other nice parts of the tele track. But in some ways it's a shame that this is the first one because it turns a lot of people off, but that's what the tele track's all about, challenging yourself. So come a long way to be here, puts a lot of effort in to get here. I wouldn't do that, but there is a bypass, we'll show you that. After watching a few cars tackle the Palm Creek bypass, we had a good sense of what to expect and decided it was time to have a go ourselves. We dropped the cruiser into 4 low and lined up for the drop. After we tackled Palm Creek, we continued along the tele track. A few kilometres in, it was clear there wasn't much water in the creek crossings, making it a pretty easy ride. When we reached the southern end of the tele track, we arrived at the famous Gunshot. Over the years, people have made various drops on Gunshot Creek, and seeing some of the older ones in person was really impressive. While we were there, we also saw a few people tackle the new Gunshot.
Go, 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 go! Yeah, boy!
Alright, so we hit the tele track today, and we've just done the complete southern end of the tele track, so cracking day driving, a lot of fun, lots of people on the track at the moment, so but it just made it really cool to just see how other people go through things, different setups, but no, a really nice day, beautiful weather, such changing landscape, so you go through so many different parts of the bushland out here. It's really cool. Done this track before, but never this time of year, so it was a lot different for me. A little bit drier, creeks were down a little bit lower, but still just as enjoyable. You can hear the corrugations, so that's part of it. Telly's actually generally better than the PDR as far as that, but no, it was really good fun. I think the main thing is just make sure you got your tyre pressures right. Don't be afraid to let your tyres down a bit, because we only averaged, I think today, 31 kilometres an hour the whole day. And basically, I filled up at Bramwell this morning. I haven't even moved the needle off of the full mark, so it's just been really good. Easy forward driving in some places. Some are technical and challenging, but most of it is really, as long as you've got a couple-inch lift, you've got some good tyres, the telly's doable, so don't be afraid not to do it. We're going to head out the bypass so we can get back to Bramwell tonight, because we're going to have dinner there, but even if you come in the bypass, just have a look. It's worth seeing, and we've had a look at a few of the old telegram poles, and it's just really cool, iconic. Just think it's so cool in Australia that we can do this, so I just invite and encourage everyone to get out there and see it. It's such a good thing, and we're only about 250 k's off the tip now, so I'm looking forward within the next few days we'll hit the top of Australia and that is one of those adventure bucket list things you just love to tick off, touching that sign. I hope to do it a few more times in my life, but I'll really appreciate it this time. But anyway, I'll enjoy these corrugations. When we returned to Bramwell, we took part in the famous Bramwell Station dinner and entertainment. It's definitely worth checking out if you're staying at the station. The next day we geared up and headed further up the Cape. We topped off our water supplies and set off towards Fruitbat Falls. Our stay at Bramwell Junction was great and we'd recommend it to anyone exploring the Cape. As we travelled further north, we made sure to fill up at every service station to be on the safe side. So we topped off our fuel at Bramwell Junction before hitting the road. Alright, we just pulled up here and my friends the flies are in now because we're up far north. So one of the things we're doing is going down for a swim to start at Fruitbat Falls and just can't wait to get in there, get all the nice red dust off us. So we've been travelling for the last few days. The last about 15-20 k's were really severely corrugated, so we've checked everything, had a couple little things move around, but generally everyone's doing well. Just checked our tyres, and we're actually going to lower our tyres a little bit tomorrow because it is really now getting very severe. They had graded a bit before that, which is beautiful, probably the best grades we've had for a while. And then you get into stuff that's not been graded yet, and you can just see, because there's so much traffic up and down this road to service the whole tip, and now there's no opportunity to really get off of that. So it's been interesting too, driving through this section. Like there's people getting off into table drains, there's people crossing to the right hand side of the road. So one of the things we've had to really keep an eye out is obviously we're all running with our lights on, we're all in convoy, so we do give ourselves quite a wide stretch, so we don't drive right on top of each other. You'll see that a bit in the film that we're all together, but when we're actually touring, we have two of us at each end of the spectrum, so there's probably about a half a K between us, just to give people opportunity to come in and out, because there's bikes, there's cars, there's all sorts of things up here. But in general, I really appreciate it. Most people have been really good on the roads. I haven't had anyone cut me off or do anything crazy. So, and actually everything's been pretty clean. I've been really blown away. There hasn't been too much litter and stuff. So it's been really good fun to get here, and I can't wait to get in the water this afternoon. Fruitbat Falls is one of the Cape's most iconic sites, offering the perfect spot to cool off after a long day's drive. There's nothing like diving into crystal clear water to wash off the red dust and relax for a few hours. As the sun set, we relaxed by a fire on the side of the PDR. We couldn't help but think about the final stretch to the top of Australia. The excitement was really starting to build as we chatted about what to expect in this last leg of the journey. Our last challenge on the way to the top was the Jardine River. While you can attempt to cross it directly, most travellers with vans opt for the Jardine ferry due to the challenging forward drive conditions. We pulled up to the ferry, joined the queue and crossed the river with a bit of luck on our side. Our wait was shorter than expected. After a few hours on the road and some of the toughest corrugations we've faced so far, we finally reached our campsite at Loyalty Beach near Seisha. Right on the beach, it's the ideal spot to kick off our adventures at the top end. Alright, well we've just arrived in Loyalty and the wind's blowing, which is nice, so it's cooled off a bit. Right here about 50 to 100 metres from the ocean, so it's cracking. Can't wait to get up the tip tomorrow and touch the sign again. So yeah, really good trip. You can see just absolute dust bowl today. Probably some of the extreme roughness today too, because everybody does that last bit, and I don't know whether they don't let their tyres down, they're excited. Probably the worst corrugations, that last little bit there, but we've made it through. Hopefully nothing's broken. Actually tried some different things this time, stubby holders and things in the back, so I want to have a look at that. And it's one of the first times I've ever travelled with a couple of glass ones, see if they wouldn't break, so we'll soon find out. Anyway, looking forward to getting amongst it. We settled in, set up our vans, and as the sun set, we celebrated our arrival with a drink at the Loyalty Bar. The next day we headed to Cape York's famous sign. Alright, so we just made our way now up here to Loyalty Beach, and we're just about to head across to the tip today. So it's our experience today to touch the sign, so we can't wait for that. Been a long dusty drive. We've got a bit of dust in the 300 now. The last few 100 Ks especially was really badly corrugated, and as much as you try, and I've got a new cabin filter and a new engine filter that I'm going to change when I'm up here at the campsite. But we're really looking forward to getting out there as a group today, get a group picture of us all around the sign. It's the first time Elisa, Pete, Liz and Russell have ever come to the tip. Myself and the Helpins have been there before, but I really look forward to doing it again. It's been about 10 years since I've come all the way up to the sign, so I just can't wait to do that. So you'll get a really good view of that, and we're also going to show you from the air as well coming in the next feature. So good. Pretty rough to get to the top part too, because a lot of locals drive up there and people go up there all the time, so it's a well-used road. But terrain changes again, you get in a bit of rainforest before you hit right at the top. Then there's an old resort, so heaps to do and see around the top end here, so we'll look forward to showing you a bit of it. A stop at the iconic croc tent was a must on our way to the sign. It's packed with unique merchandise and souvenirs, definitely worth a look. Before tackling the final stretch, we lowered our tyre pressures to 16 psi to smooth out the rough corrugations ahead. We decided to check out the sign in the afternoon, and we were lucky to avoid the crowds as we pulled into the car park. From the car park, we set off on the short walk to the sign, eager to finally reach Australia's northernmost point and take a picture with the famous landmark. We took a moment to fully appreciate the landmark and, of course, snap plenty of photos with the sign. Well, like a lot of people, it's so good to come and touch this sign. So here we are today. We finally made it after about 4.5 weeks. It's been an epic trip. Got some great friends in the background here. We've all had a great time. We've really enjoyed it. There's so many good things to do. It's one of Australia's best iconic trips. I encourage every one of you to try sometime in your life, come and touch this sign. I don't know what it is about this trip, but I tell you, it makes you proud to be an Australian. It's proud to be here. It's so cool to do it in our zone RVs. It's been absolutely a pleasure in that luxury setup that we've got. Guys are making fun of me in the background, but I don't care. It's so much good fun. So anyway, get up here, make sure you get that adventure in your life. After capturing the moment, we headed to Punson Bay to celebrate our journey and the adventures we've had over the past weeks. Known for its wood-fire pizzas and stunning sunset views, Punson Bay was the perfect spot to celebrate. We kicked back and just enjoyed being up north. In the next episode, we'll explore the Cape from above on a scenic chopper flight, explore the Torres Strait Islands, their unique culture and war history, and visit the 5 bays at Somerset. We'll catch up with friends, enjoy beach barbecues, and make our way to Cape York's east coast, where we'll explore Chili Beach and some epic campsites. Make sure to subscribe so you don't miss a moment of Zone RV's big lap around Australia.